Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, going to 5,000 subscribers by September 7th. Please join us. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoy our content. We have all the links to the description box below. But without further ado, this is going to be my Spurs Nuggets playoff preview. As you guys know, I'm a big Spurs fan. You know, we finished this year 48-34, contrary to what a lot of people said we were going to do. Possibly missing the playoffs. A lot of people had us, but as Popovich does again, 22 straight years where we make it. Going against one of the breakthrough teams in the league, the Denver Nuggets. You know, they tied for one of the best home records in the league this year. Very formidable opponent. But as a Spurs fan, I feel this is an advantageous spot for us. Going against a team with very little playoff experience. You look at their roster, I only look at two guys in Isaiah Thomas and Paul Millsap that have even had substantial experience. And in Thomas's case, he may or may not even factor into this series. So you look at their big three: Nikola Jokic, Gary Harris, and Jamal Murray. You know, this is going to be their first rodeo in the playoffs. So, you know, can Greg Popovich take advantage of that? Can Greg Popovich take advantage of a Mike Malone, who's had a great year, one of the Coach of the Year candidates? But in a playoff series, the game is very, very different. Slows down. We know, you know, tactically what guys are doing. So, you know, it comes down to playmaking. And when you look at, you know, the key players in this series, you know, on the Spurs side, and LaMarcus Aldridge, the way he finished the year offensively, he's going to be a problem for Jokic and Plumlee and all those guys down there that are going to have to try and defend him and match up. Also, to me, the key for the series is DeMar DeRozan. If his mind is right and the brother's on point and locked in, I know, you know, we're now at the point where we were last year where he was in Toronto and he had, you know, he had an anxiety meltdown for all intents and purposes. So has Greg Popovich reprogrammed him, so to speak, to have him be playing his best basketball in a high leverage situation? Because I think we match up very well with Denver. We split the season series with them. They won both their home games. We won both our home games. But, you know, even defensively, the things that Derek White has done, I think he can, you know, now it's going to be tough because Murray and Harris, you know, they're very complementary, but they're very, you know, because of their different strengths and weaknesses, and Gary Harris especially has been shooting the ball pretty well as of recent, so he's going to probably be switching on and off the hot guy, and we're going to have some of our bench guys. Brent Ford's going to have to shoot the ball well, and look, the Spurs have been one of the best shooting teams in terms of field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage all year. The issue we've had is just really knuckling down defensively. You know, that's where we really miss Kawhi Leonard and, you know, even a Kyle Anderson and some of the guys we had last year to defend, like a Danny Green. So, you know, while we've had an uptick in our scoring and our shooting and just overall efficiency on offense with the playmaking abilities that DeMar DeRozan has brought, you know, we've really taken a step back defensively. So really it boils down to, can we still one of these first two games in Denver, starting with tonight, and introduce doubt into this young Nuggets team? Introduce that, hey, this playoff thing is a different animal, and they could potentially be one of the teams that gets upset. Now, if they come out and roll through us in the first two games, now they're kind of playing with house money to where, you know, they feel like if they just win maybe one road game, then they can wrap up this series maybe in 6 games. So overall, I think the Spurs have an outstanding chance. I feel really good about this series as a Spurs fan. Objectively speaking, though, I do think we'll lose a tough fight in 7 games. I do think, you know, I think this could be a series where all the home teams just hold serve until Game 7. And Game 7 in Denver, I do think that would be too much for the Spurs to overcome. But I you know, you can't count out Greg Popovich and what he's capable of, what that staff is capable of. They've been notorious, you know, some of the other fans out there for making, you know, when I say notorious, I mean, you know, if you're the opposing fan base or team, for making some savvy adjustments and really getting ahead of the series. You know, you think back to what he did a few years ago in the Houston series to get by without Kawhi Leonard. That, you know, that's just another, you know, feather in the cap for Greg Popovich. So I'm really excited about this series. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. Starting tonight, I think it's going to be one of the better first round series just because of how the teams match up, how we saw them match up in the regular season, and Denver's going to have, as Gary Harris, I believe he was quoted today, said this is going to be a huge test for us because of how unproven we are. So will Denver live up to the challenge, or will they, is this one of those learning experiences that they're going to have to go through first before they ultimately break through on a playoff level? So we'll see. I'm excited to watch as a Spurs fan. I'm happy to be back in the playoffs, and especially considering the way we started the year with the injuries that we had at the point guard position. And how Derek White's game has blossomed, and we're starting to see a little bit of some of our other players like a Bryn Forbes step up, and a lot of these brothers, man. So just really excited, and I think LaMarcus can really get going, and we've seen him put up those 35, 40-plus point playoff games. But as I said before, in conclusion, DeMar DeRozan, it comes down to you, brother. If your mind's right, I think we have a chance to take these guys out. So appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to follow us. Peace.